So I've been working for a while now on trying to get a pull-up. There's progress, but it's very slow, so I just keep finding different things that I can do to improve my lat strength and shoulder strength. One of these videos I saw, I will link it down below, but it talks about there's different days in each different blocks, and each block encompasses 4 days, and at the very end you do a test to see, a final test to see how much you improve, but throughout the whole thing that's 22 days long, you do little tests. And so each block is exactly the same, except that the first day of each block you're retested, so then the next 3 days of that block your numbers change. So for example, on day 1 you're tested on inverted rows, max to failure, and then 2 minutes rest, and then you do a dead arm hang for time, so until failure. And then on the next couple days you use those numbers to complete those days' tasks. So on day 2 you do chair assisted pull-ups, which is half of your max inverted rows from day 1, and then 2-minute rest, and then inverted rows. So you take your test day number, so whatever you got, and then 40%. So for example, on my day 1 of block 1, I did inverted rows, 13 of them, and then my dead arm hang was 20 seconds. On my day, so on day 2, 3, and 4, I used those numbers to figure out what I was going to do. So for the chair assisted pull-ups on day 2, since I had 13 inverted rows, you're supposed to cut it in half. Well, half is an even number, so I just rounded up to 7. So I did 7 chair assisted pull-ups, and then 13 plus the 40%, like 18 point something. So I think I did 18 or 19 for the inverted rows, which you can break up into blocks, and the video kind of explains it. So I've done days 1 through 4, so now I'm on day 5, or day 6, because I did day 5 yesterday. So day 5 was block 2, the test day. And on day 5 I did 15 inverted rows to max and a 25-second dead arm hang. And so today I have to do half of the 15 chair assisted pull-ups. So I'll probably, since I was doing 7 when I did 13, I'll probably do 8, and then 2-minute rest, and then test day, so 15 plus 40%, do 21 inverted rows for day 2, and then day 3, day 4, we'll continue to use the new numbers, and then I do day 1 again of block 3, and it just kind of continues. So this is 22 days throughout the whole thing. At this time I can't do a pull-up. I can do scapula pull-ups, so engage my lats and bring my shoulders back and down, but there's not really a noticeable bend in the arm. So that's kind of what I am working towards. So I will do 8 chair assisted pull-ups and then 21 inverted rows.
So for day 2 of each block, you have the chair assisted pull-ups, which is half whatever your inverted rows was from the test day, and then you rest 2 minutes, and then you have the inverted row. The inverted row is your test day max plus 40% of that test day max. Here I'm doing the chair assisted pull-ups. I'm using a cushion instead of a chair, but you want to make sure with these you bring your shoulders down, engage your lats as you pull up, and try to use least amount of assistance as possible. And then I go into the inverted rows where I'm directly under it and pulling straight up.
So on these you don't want to go till failure. You want to go and then do it in sets if you have to, which you probably will since it's more than your max. So I usually try to do 7 and 8, and as I go on it kind of maybe gets a little lower.
So I do the inverted rows kind of in sets like I said, and continue until I get whatever number I'm working on in that block. Day 3 of the block is eccentric pull-ups, or I call negatives, which you are starting at the top and then slowly going down. Try to do at least 4 seconds. Then you have the inverted row again. This time it's your test day max plus 50% of that, not 40, it's 50% of that. You can see me do my negatives. In this first one, I kind of keep it the regular speed. So you can see you go down slowly. You try to do it a 4-second drop, 3-second drop as you go down. The other videos of me doing it, it will be a sped up speed just to get through the video. I take a little bit of time between each negative because I can't do them back to back yet, but not that much time, just enough time to give a little bit of break, but not too much where you're super well rested. Here's the inverted rows. Again, you can see I'm going straight up, and I do take breaks between my sets so that I don't go to complete muscle failure. You want to stop just before you hit muscle failure, take a break, and then continue on. On day 4 of the block, you have the hollow rocks for time to failure. So you do the hollow rocks for as long as possible, then you rest your 2 minutes, and again do the inverted rows, which is your test day max, whatever that was, plus 60% of that max. You're now at 60%. So the first time you did 40, then 50, now we're at 60. If you want more detailed information on how to do the hollow rocks and inverted rows, the chair-assisted pull-ups, or anything that's really talked about and you can see me doing, go ahead and check out his video. He really explains what your muscles should feel like, the movement should feel like, and how everything works together.
So today is day 9 of doing this, block 3. So as you can see in there. And then what I do is in the captions I put what I got. So for the time for the inverted row and how many, or the time for the dead arm hang and how many inverted rows I got, and the date so I can kind of keep track. So we're back to day 1 of block 3. So I do the inverted row to failure, and then I do the dead arm hang, the max time to failure.
So this is one of my test days. So I do my inverted rows to failure. So I do them until I cannot do them anymore, and I write that number down and keep track, which you will see at the end.
So I only did one more than last time. I think I'm a little sore from my workout yesterday. That's okay. And so now you wait 2 minutes and do the dead arm hang. So I usually start my stopwatch and then wait till it gets to 5 seconds and actually start hanging. That way the time's accurate and I'm not rushed. So as you can see, both my inverted rows and my dead arm hangs have increased. I think I probably on another day could have done the dead arm hang longer, but I had a lot of pull-up slash actually it was negatives yesterday in CrossFit, so my hands are a little tender. And I mean, as soon as I started that dead hang, I could feel it. So, but the fact that I could do still 5 seconds longer is nice. So right now I'm at 20 seconds or 10 seconds longer than my original time. And this guy says that when we take the final test on day 21, the new max dead arm hang maybe 20 seconds or more. So I'm clearly getting to that point. He also says the pull-ups in one set, you could go from 0 to 3 or 3 to 5. We'll see. If I could just get one pull-up, I would be happy. So we'll see if it happens.
Now we're on the next block again. So each block, it just repeats. The only thing that changes is your numbers, because you test at the very beginning of the block to see where you're at, and then you use those numbers to figure out how many chair-assisted pull-ups you're going to do, or inverted rows you're going to do, or negatives you're going to do. So each block, the movements all stay the same. It's just the amount you do that changes based on your test day. I don't know if you've ever had to work out with dogs, but they always make things stay interesting. Here are my scores for the different test days for each block. As you can see, gradually they did increase. I do want to note that between the 13th and the 21st of April, I had drill, and so I couldn't do the pull-up aspect of it because I didn't have access to a bar. Then here are my hollow body rock times, and they also increased. Hi, so I wanted to come on and talk about what kind of happened over the 22-day pull-up challenge. I still can't do a pull-up, but my dead arm hang and active arm hang time both increased, as did my inverted row to failure. So the amount of inverted rows I could do until I couldn't do any more, that's increased. And while I still can't do a pull-up, I have noticed a difference in the muscle activity, I guess, and I can't really bend my arms any more than before, but I can do more pull-ups with bands than I could before, with like the least amount of bands possible. Also, my negatives or eccentric pull-ups have gotten a lot better. I can go down a lot slower than before and do more of them with less rest in between. So I'm not quite there yet, but there is improvement and I'm getting there. So I hope to someday be able to do a pull-up. And after that milestone, then I will work on being able to do more pull-ups. And then I will work on the dreaded leg tuck for the Army.